We're now reaching the last book of the Torah, the book of Devarim. And Moshe has only 5 weeks left until his death, only this time to impart all the knowledge and instructions to the children of Israel about how to live their life going towards the land of Israel. So the Sedra begins with Moses reminiscing about all the places they'd been together over the last 40 years. Do you remember we went over here? Do you remember we travelled there? And he lists place after place after place. But our commentators have a difficulty. What are all these places that Moses is referring to? If you look back over the book of Bamidbar and you look in the text, they don't seem to be there. If you look on a map, they don't seem to appear in the map either. Where are all these places and what are they? What is going on? And the answer is, these names actually are not real places. Instead, these names are subtle hints that Moses is giving to the children of Israel about the mistakes they made over the past 40 years whilst in the desert. So for example, when Moses talks about the place Di Zahav, there is no such place Di Zahav. What it actually means is an abundance of gold, and he's referring to the time when they made the golden calf. He doesn't shout at them and say, "Why did you make the golden calf?" Instead, he does it really subtly and gently so as not to embarrass them. Sometimes it's necessary to point out where people have gone wrong, but there are two ways of doing it. You can either shout at them and rebuke them and embarrass them and shove it down their throat, or you can subtly hint to them where they may have gone wrong and help them work out for themselves how to improve and how to work on themselves, and in that way they won't be embarrassed. There's a beautiful true story about a pilot called Bob Hoover who was flying a World War II plane in an air show. 300 feet up in the air, the plane suddenly loses control and starts falling. Miraculously, Bob Hoover manages to cut the airspeed and crash land the plane safely into the ravine. The plane was severely damaged, but he and the other 2 passengers managed to walk away. Bob wanted to know what had gone wrong. He had a hunch. He went to the back of the plane, unscrewed the petrol cap, and had a sniff. Someone had put jet fuel into this World War II propeller plane. Straight from the crash landing site, Bob walked through the crowds of people saying, "Are you okay? What happened?" And he made a beeline straight to the person whose job it was to put the petrol in. The guy that put the wrong petrol in was absolutely distraught and broken. He realised that he had just destroyed a Second World War plane and almost killed 3 people. Bob walks towards the man and hands him the correct petrol and looks at him in the eye and says, "There's not a person in this world who's never made a mistake. I know you won't do this again. Tomorrow, I want you to be the person that fills up my F-51. Be great, be a giver, help people grow without embarrassment." Shabbat Shalom.